David, seen Stephen Hawkings to the class. The human capacity for guilt is such that people can always find ways to blame themselves. The idea of 10 dimensions might sound exciting, but they would cause real problems if you forget where you parked your car. Simplicity is a matter of taste. It is hard to imagine how free will can operate if our behavior is determined by physical law. So it seems that we are no more than biological machines, and that free will is just an illusion. We believe humans have existed for only a small fraction of cosmic history, because human race has been improving so rapidly in knowledge and technology that if people have been around for millions of years, the human race would be much further along in its mastery. Each exists for but a short time, and in that time explore but a small part of the whole universe. Traditionally, these are questions for philosophy, but philosophy is dead. Philosophy has not kept up with modern developments in science, particularly physics. Scientists have become the bearers of the torch of discovery in our quest for knowledge. Scientists tend to risk theories they admire. We create history by our observation rather than history creating us. In the early universe, when the universe was small enough to be governed by the both general relativity and quantum theory, there were effectively 4 dimensions of space and none of time. That means that when we speak of the beginning of the universe, we are skirting the subtle issue that as we look backward toward the very early universe, how it hurts all the knowledge in the universe. Time as we know it does not exist. We must accept that our usual ideas of space and time do not apply to the very early universe that is beyond our experience, but not beyond our imagination or our mathematics. I'm a lunatic with an infinite vocabulary, spitting for eternity beyond infinity. The Greeks, Christian successors, rejected the idea that the universe is governed by indifferent natural law. They also rejected the idea that humans do not hold a privileged place within that universe. And the medieval period had no single coherent philosophical system. A common theme was that the universe is God's dollhouse, and religion a far worthier study than the phenomena of nature. Indeed, in 1277, Bishop Temperer of Paris, acting on the instructions of Pope John, published a list of 219 errors or heresies that were to be condemned. Among the heresies was the idea that nature follows laws because this conflicts with God's omnipotence. Interestingly, Pope John was killed by the effects of the law of gravity a few months later when the roof of his palace fell in on him. Ignorance of nature's ways led people to believe in ancient times, to invent gods to lord it over every aspect of human life. Recent experiments in neuroscience support the view that it is our physical brain, following the known laws of science, that determines our actions, and not some agency that exists outside those laws. For example, a study of patients undergoing awake brain surgery found that by electrically stimulating the appropriate regions of the brain, one could create in the patient the desire to move the hand, arm, or foot, or to move lips and talk. It is hard to imagine how free will can operate if our behavior is determined by physical law. So it seems that we are no more than biological machines, and that free will is just an illusion from underneath the trees. I watch the skies confused and stars and satellites. Just imagine if they could love like you and me. Oh, what a world it would be. Saying an amen. incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it's comprehensible, said Albert Einstein. The human capacity for guilt is such that people can always find ways to blame themselves. Both observer and observed are parts of the world that has an objective existence, and any distinction between them has no meaningful significance. In other words, if you see a herd of zebras fighting for a spot in the parking garage, it's because there really is a herd of zebras fighting for a spot in the parking garage. Do we really have reason to believe an objective reality exists? Quantum physics tells us that no matter how thorough our observation of the present, the unobserved past, like the future, is indefinite and exists only as a spectrum of possibilities. The universe, according to quantum physics, has no single past or history. The fact that the past takes no definite form means that observations you make on the system and the present effect is the past. Let's see the day that nobody dies. Let's see the day that nobody dies. An examiner, a friend and possibly a student of fails, argue that since human infants are helpless at birth, if the first human had somehow appeared on Earth as an infant, it would not have survived in what may have been humanity's first inkling of evolution. People annex mander reason, but must therefore have evolved from other animals whose younger and hardier quantum physics might seem to undermine the idea that nature is governed by laws, but that is not the case. Instead, it leads us to accept a new form of determinism, given the state of the system. At some time, the laws of nature determine the probabilities of various futures and past rather than determining the future and past with certainty. Wow, I'm gonna curse just saying Stephen Hawkings to the class.